Maybe it could. I don't know. They won't have enough stock. Let's be real. Hey everybody, I'm Jammer, and it's been a long time since we've had a chance to talk. Anyways, today I would like to talk about the Nintendo Switch yet again. It's been, like, what, 2 weeks almost? Week and a half since since the presentation. There's been a huge buzz on it, on the internet, a lot of negativity. I didn't really expect that, but kind of after the first impression, like, reactional stuff, after all the details kind of sink in, I can see some of the, like, the reasoning and the angles why people are a little bit upset with this. So I thought I'd just take a moment to kind of just go over my thoughts once again on the Switch. Now that I have time to process everything and kind of address some of the natural negative concerns that have been coming up over the past few weeks. So let's jump right to the elephant in the room, being the launch lineup. When watching the presentation, I was so amped. The Mario Kart, which again, I've already played it, but still looks amazing. The fact that you can play it 2-player on the go wherever you want, I'm sold already. Splatoon 2 looks so much fun. Mario Odyssey was amazing. Zelda, there was so much they showed off. Xenoblade. Within the following few days, they sent out a little graphic showing off like the lineup of games coming out. And on launch day, number one day, it's really just Zelda. There's a handful of other games coming out like Super Bomberman R, Just Dance 2017, 1-2 Switch. So I said in my previous video, I love the idea of 1-2 Switch, but after seeing the live stream presentation of the game, I'm not as big as a fan of the gameplay. Like, the idea of using controllers and not really using a screen to play a video game, it's pretty cool in its way. Like, I liked that idea, that premise. I don't know if the execution is that great in 1-2 Switch, and especially since this is a standalone game and not a pack-in. If it was a pack-in, yeah, for sure, that'd be awesome to fun and play around with and experiment with the cool new technology of the Switch. But who's gonna pay 50 bucks or however much it is to go buy 1-2 Switch? I don't know what like demographic or audience they're trying to grab there. It looks fun-ish, I guess, but it's one of those games like I definitely would get bored of after playing like a day or two. It really should have been a pack-in because essentially it is like the Wii Sports, except in this case it's even less than that. It's just really showing off what the controllers can do and what you can do with them and stuff. So someone trying to go out of the way to buy it, besides hardcore fans, I guess, I mean, I'm a technical hardcore fan, I don't know if I'm even gonna get it. So really, when it all comes down to it, Zelda's the only game the Switch is really launching with. The only big AAA game. And as far as third parties, we did see that big list of all these publishers that are planning on supporting the Switch, and the ones we saw in the presentation and everything. But the thing is, a lot of those are a lot farther down the road, and they're not really coming out near the Switch's launch. Again, I think this is partial to the reason that, well, the Switch is coming out in March, which is like the first few months of the year are regularly pretty slow for the video game industry. So for the fact that there aren't a lot of games coming to the Switch third-party wise right at launch or in launch window, I think it's just because a lot of games aren't coming out in that area. Yeah, there's still games coming out, don't get me wrong, but there's not like a mass volume like there are in the holiday or end of the year cycle. So I think the fear that third parties aren't supporting the Switch right away out of the gate, it's like, oh my gosh, this is the Wii U again. I don't think it's necessary to say that yet. I say just wait and see on that. Of course, third parties are going to hold back maybe a little bit, because why would they want to go in on the Switch if it's just going to fail again? I don't think it will, personally. They're a business, they want to make money, they're not going to be trying to support something that's not going to work out for them. But again, I really just think it's just not a lot of games are coming out in this time frame of the launch window. I forgot literally all that I was talking. A big concern everyone's been saying is the software droughts, especially with, you know, basically the biggest AAA game of Zelda being the only thing launching with, and nothing really to follow. Again, we do have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe coming out the following month, like April 27th. For us Wii U owners, yes, of course, it's really not that enticing to maybe get it, because it's really just a battle mode and a couple of new characters. But for me personally, I'm probably going to get it. I don't know if I'll get it right away, unless I can find like a discount or something. Just for the fact that, you know, I already have the game. But the real reason I really like it is the fact tabletop mode, where you can play 2-player with 2 little Joy-Cons. I think that's awesome to be able to take down the Go and then play Mario Kart wherever I want. That's a huge compelling selling point for me personally to want to get that game. But again, for the owners of Mario Kart 8 on Wii U, that's the smaller demographic. The Mario Kart franchise fan base is much wider and goes far surpast the Wii U owners and the Wii U owners of Mario Kart 8. So I feel like, if assuming a lot of people get the Switch, this will be a huge compelling thing. Because I already know a bunch of people I was talking to who maybe they're saying they're not going to get Switch right away at launch, just because maybe Zelda doesn't appeal to them or whatever. But they're saying Mario Kart 8, because it didn't have a Wii U, they're definitely getting a Switch for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So I feel like this game is actually going to sell a lot of consoles, more than people probably would expect. Then of course the following month might be Splatoon, being May. I mean, granted, they said in spring range, that could bleed into June, but it's definitely be before E3. So honestly, I could see end of May, and then that's already 3 months in a row of first-party Nintendo games. So honestly, as far as the first few months, I don't see the biggest software droughts. Granted, the launch is just kind of one big game, but it's a huge game. It's a massive game. It's going to take you a long time to play and beat. But again, I see the concern of not everyone's a Zelda fan. Not everyone's a Zelda fan. And E3 is going to be so crucial for Nintendo to really show off not only what's going to finish out the remaining first year of the Switch, but really what's to come. They're going to have to be we say this every year about E3, but they're really going to have to be on all full cylinders, totally revving it up and showing how great the Switch is and why people should buy it. I personally think they're going to show off a lot of Mario Odyssey, and I think that's going to be the big focus this year, but I'm sure there's going to be other tons of cool new stuff that's going to be done and ready to play. For example, I mean, Pikmin 4, we've been talking about that for years now, how it's pretty much done. We never saw it on the Wii U, and then we all assumed it's probably going to be a Switch game. It wasn't even at the presentation. So that game's just kind of waiting to be launched. I could see that coming out at the end of this summer, or maybe they'll save it for next year. I don't know. Regardless, that's a game that's pretty much done. They could slide in whenever there's maybe a drought, or whenever there's maybe an empty slot. So I think the concern, again, of software droughts isn't that big of a deal. I mean, for the example, there still looks like they're supporting the 3DS, at least for this year. They didn't say whether it's last year or not, I'm not sure. But they already have the new Fire Emblem coming, Poochie and Yoshi's coming out pretty soon. The Mario Superstars one, I think that comes out in like a month or so. So the 3DS is still getting a pretty good amount of support. Personally, I'm a little bit selfish, and I'd actually rather all those games be on the Switch itself, just because I'd rather them go totally full on the Switch and just get everyone to go to that console, you know. But alas, I mean, it makes sense for them financially to continue to support a system that has a large install base, because that's a safer way to sell games rather than hoping everyone's going to get a Switch. So I don't blame them on that decision, but personally, I'd rather be all over there. But one thing I do want to mention, the thing is, so with Zelda, it's a huge game. Massive game, we already know that. And so many people are excited for it. I mean, and the prime example is looking at last year's E3. When we first heard the news that there was going to be nothing at E3 besides no NX, no mobile, all it was going to be Breath of the Wild. Or at the time, all we knew was Zelda Wii U. And we were all astonished. We were like, oh my gosh, what is Nintendo doing? Why are they freaking going into E3 with one game? They can't go into E3 with one game, with a new console supposedly coming out. At the time, we thought it was coming out that holiday. But we knew it was coming out pretty soon, within less than a year. And we're like, they're only showing up with one game. What are they thinking? What are they thinking? But then we were all surprised. They practically almost won E3 with, again, that just one game. Their lines were out the door for those demos. And Breath of the Wild blew us all away, blew all expectations. And I think that's something we can take a look at, and that might kind of mirror how the launch is going to be. Personally, I feel like Switch is definitely going to meet its 2 million goal in the first month, by far. It's definitely going to meet that, perhaps even 4 million. And then they'll all advertise, like, yay, we doubled it. Whatever. But I think it's important to note, because now we know that the Switch is only launching with, again, that one game. And a lot of people are freaking out again. Oh my gosh, they're launching a console with literally one game. What are they thinking? So our first initial impressions of how the Switch would launch, before we knew what was actually coming out that day one, we were probably expecting a lot higher than what's realistically going to happen. Let's be real. But I think with the news of this one game, now our expectations are a lot lower. I think it's going to be a little bit higher than what our current expectations are. I don't think it's going to be any pie high in the sky like it was what we were thinking before. It's not going to sell 10 million in the first month. Maybe it could. I don't know. They won't have enough stock, let's be real. But I think we're going to be pleasantly surprised that the one game, being Zelda, sold as much as it did. Because I know there are tons of fans about Zelda who don't have a Wii U and don't plan to get a Wii U, and they'll probably just get it for the Switch anyways. And then, of course, there's just the potential of the console itself. I love the ideas of the Joy-Cons and the portability aspect. I think it's a really awesome idea on Nintendo's part. Of course, they're really not showing it off much in the first few months, but that happens on a console's first launch. It does. It happened with the PS4 and Xbox One. Heck, the first year was like totally dead. It really didn't pick up traction until the second year of holiday. So honestly, all the doomsday sake that the Switch is like doomed, it's never going to sell well, they're only launching with one game, I think it's a little drastic, and it's unneeded. I think the Switch is going to do fairly well, maybe even surpass our lower expectations than we previously would have analyzed. I think it's going to still do pretty good. How it does longevity-wise, I don't know. But personally, I feel like this is a really great idea. This console idea it's truly remarkable. It really is. There's so many cool ideas I could think of. The main focus of like local multiplayer, being able to hand a controller to a friend, I think that's so awesome. And I know this is gonna sell gangbusters in Japan, especially because their whole market of video game culture is focused more on mobile, more smartphone gaming than anything really. Console market is definitely slowing down over there, so I think the Switch is gonna do phenomenal over there. How it does stateside, I still think it's gonna do really well, especially because this Zelda is the most westernized style Zelda we've ever seen. So I still think it's going to do pretty good. It's just not gonna do amazing or outstanding or anything, but it's definitely gonna do better than everyone else is saying right now. They're like, oh my gosh, they're not even gonna make 2 million, you know? I think they're gonna do pretty good, but I think I'm gonna wrap it up. I've been blabbing on a little while. Let me know in the comments, what do you guys think? How do you guys think the Switch is going to launch? I mean, if you think about it, it's really only a month away. Maybe like a month and a week, give or take. Not even. It's pretty dang close. It's really close. It's gonna come up on us so soon. So again, I want to thank you guys for watching. Give this video a huge, awesome like. If you haven't already, subscribe for tons on Nintendo Switch, Breath of the Wild, Zelda, all that stuff. And as a quick little update, for those who stuck around all the way to the end before I finish things off, I might live stream tonight. I haven't really decided. I don't know. So kind of check Twitter and check back here, of course, like later this afternoon, and I might be on. I haven't really decided, but we'll see. Also, another update I'd like to mention. So tomorrow being Monday, I will be going in for my wisdom tooth surgery. Yeah, so I don't know if I'm going to be doing any videos soon after that, because I don't even know if I'll be able to talk. I have a couple of pre-recorded stuff that I might kind of, like, that I done a while ago, actually. I might throw that up during the week or something like that. But, I mean, until my jaw is better, until I can actually talk, or presentable for that matter, these type of videos, or even like a new episodes of Custom Me Fighter, stuff where I have to use my voice, you might not see those for a little bit. I don't know. I'll definitely keep you updated on Twitter if you want to follow me over there, and I'll let you know how I'm doing, and oh man, we'll see. One last thing I do want to mention, we're getting close to 10,000 subscribers, and I don't know what I want to do for it. I couldn't be more grateful, of course, and I'm blown away that we're about to hit 10,000 subscribers. Blown away. And I want to make it special, but I don't really know what I want to do. Should I like go out and do something specifically? Should I live stream? Should I do you want me to like take in some questions and tell you about myself? Do you want me to tell you guys a story? I don't know. What do you guys really want to see me do on my 10,000 subscriber video day thing? I don't know. Just let me know, I guess, in the comments what you guys want me to do. It's up to you guys, because you're the reason I made it this far. So anyways, thank you again for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one soon after my surgery. Hopefully when I feel a little better. Thanks again. Catch you in the next one. See ya.